Respect your limits. Know your limits and don't exceed them, but also don't let them hinder your growth. In our pursuit of success, improvement, and achievement, we often push ourselves to the edge, striving to reach new heights and exceed every expectation. Yet, there is profound wisdom in knowing our limits, in recognizing when to pause, and in understanding that we cannot pour from an empty cup. True strength lies not only in our ability to persevere, but also in our ability to rest, recharge, and say no when necessary. Respecting our limits is a way of honoring our well-being. It doesn't mean settling for less or avoiding growth. It means cultivating balance. Knowing our limits teaches us humility, patience, and self-compassion. It's the realization that our energy is finite, and that pushing ourselves relentlessly can lead to exhaustion and burnout. By honoring our boundaries, we foster sustainable growth, ensuring that our journey is one of resilience, not depletion. Be mindful of your limits and respect them. Recognize that sometimes the most powerful choice you can make is to rest, to step back, and to prioritize your well-being. In doing so, you create the foundation for lasting growth, where strength is balanced by self-care and achievement is sustained by self-respect. Always learn and explore. Knowledge is the most loyal companion. There is no greater gift than the curiosity and capacity to learn. Learning and exploring are life's open invitations to grow, no matter our age or background. Knowledge is a steadfast friend, an endless source of inspiration, and a tool for understanding the world. When we nurture our curiosity, we bring vibrancy to our lives and enrich ourselves with new perspectives. Life, after all, is an infinite classroom, and every interaction, every mistake, every success is a lesson waiting to be uncovered. Exploration is not limited to books or formal education. It's about embracing life with open eyes, an open mind, and an open heart. Every day brings new people, new experiences, and new ways to see the world. When we allow ourselves to learn from these encounters, we become more compassionate, more resilient, and ultimately, more fulfilled. Commit to being a lifelong learner. Approach each day as a chance to discover, to understand, and to deepen your wisdom. The joy of learning and exploring is one of the few treasures that grows richer the more we share it with the world. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is not a destination. It is the way we travel the path. Happiness is not something that arrives by chance. It is a choice, a mindset, and an ongoing practice. Life presents each of us with difficulties, unexpected detours, and days when optimism feels out of reach. Yet, happiness is found not in the absence of struggle, but in our perspective on life's twists and turns. When we choose to see life's small moments, the warmth of the sun, a loved one's laughter, the completion of a small task, as gifts, happiness becomes an ever-present companion. By focusing on gratitude and positivity, we realize that happiness does not lie in reaching some far-off goal or milestone. It's the everyday moments that shape a fulfilling life. Choosing happiness is a way of affirming life itself, embracing both its joys and its challenges, and understanding that peace and contentment can coexist with life's imperfections. Happiness is not a prize to be won, but a choice to be made each day. Decide to seek joy, even in life's quiet moments, and you'll find that happiness is not a fleeting feeling, but a lasting way of being. Truly connect with others. Life is made up of moments of true connection with others. In today's digital world, genuine human connection can feel scarce. We may be connected online, but true relationships are not measured by likes or followers. They are formed through shared experiences, vulnerability, and meaningful interactions. True connection brings depth to our lives, offering us companionship, empathy, and a sense of belonging. It reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Meaningful relationships don't require constant interaction. They are defined by the quality of time spent together. In these connections, we find support during our hardships, celebration during our successes, and companionship in the everyday moments. Quality relationships add richness to our lives and give us strength when life feels uncertain. Value quality over quantity in your relationships. Seek depth and sincerity. Invest in people who truly understand you, and nurture the connections that fill your life with purpose and warmth. True connections are the threads that weave a meaningful life. Learn to love yourself. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Loving yourself is the foundation for all other relationships in life. It's not about vanity or selfishness. It's about knowing your worth, accepting your imperfections, and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. Self-love is the cornerstone of resilience. When we nurture and care for ourselves, we create a sense of inner stability that helps us face life's challenges with confidence. Self-love allows us to set boundaries, to say no when we need to, and to make choices that honor our values. It teaches us that we don't need to seek validation from others because our worth is inherent. By fostering self-compassion, we grow stronger, more balanced, and better equipped to love and support those around us. Make self-love a daily practice. Don't wait for others to make you feel valued or happy. Embrace yourself fully, celebrate your uniqueness, and remember that you are responsible for your own happiness and fulfillment. Live with kindness. No one has ever become poor by giving. Kindness is one of the most profound acts a person can offer. It's a gift that enriches both the giver and the receiver, and it doesn't have to be grand. A gentle word, a compassionate gesture, or a moment of patience can ripple out, creating positive change beyond what we can see. Kindness is not just an action. It's a way of being that shapes how we see and interact with the world. When we choose kindness, we not only uplift others, but also cultivate peace within ourselves. Kindness has the power to soften our own hearts, to teach us empathy, and to bring light into our lives, even during dark times. Living with kindness means approaching each day with an open heart, knowing that small, sincere acts can transform lives and foster connection. Make kindness a core part of your life. Practice it not only toward others, but also toward yourself. Let it be a source of joy, a bridge to connection, and a reminder of the beauty that resides in the simplest, most genuine acts. Embrace imperfection. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Perfection is an illusion, a mirage that constantly moves out of reach as we try to chase it. Life, with all its messiness and flaws, remains beautiful and complete. Not because it's perfect, but because of its imperfections. When we allow ourselves to accept our own flaws and release the need to constantly measure up to unrealistic standards, we find freedom. True growth, after all, comes not from flawless success, but from learning to rise, adapt, and grow from our mistakes. Imagine a painter who stares at a canvas he believes he has ruined with one mistaken stroke. In a moment of despair, he considers discarding it. Yet, he pauses, takes a deep breath, and chooses to see the flaw as an opportunity rather than an end. Working with that imperfect stroke, he creates something unexpected, something he could never have planned, a masterpiece born from embracing imperfection. Life's beauty often lies not in its perfections, but in its cracks and flaws. Accepting our imperfections is not a defeat, but a strength, allowing us to see our true selves and find deeper contentment. The power of silence. Silence is a source of great strength. In a world where noise dominates, silence becomes a rare treasure, a forgotten language. It's in silence that we find the clarity and peace that elude us in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Silence invites us to listen, not to the world around us, but to the quiet voice within, a voice we often ignore. In silence, we find the strength to understand ourselves more deeply and make choices free from external influence. Consider the story of an overworked executive, moving from one task to another without pause. After years of constant motion, she decides to spend a weekend in solitude. away from the demands of work and society. The silence feels strange at first, but then clarity begins to emerge. By the end of her retreat, she feels rejuvenated, having found solutions to challenges she hadn't been able to solve. In the quiet, she reconnects with herself, discovers what truly matters, and finds strength she didn't know she had. Take time for silence and solitude. In moments of quiet, we find clarity, strength, and purpose that the noise of the world can never provide. Silence allows us to hear the wisdom that speaks from within. Kindness is strength. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Kindness is often perceived as a soft quality, something easy or naive. But in a world that can be harsh and unforgiving, choosing kindness is an act of true strength. To show compassion, especially when it is difficult, requires courage. Acts of kindness don't need to be grand gestures. Even the smallest compassionate act can change someone's day, life, or worldview. Kindness has the power to create ripples, impacting others in ways we may never see. Imagine a man helping an elderly stranger carry her groceries. For him, it's a small gesture, something he doesn't think twice about. But for the woman, it's a lifeline. It's the first kindness she has experienced in months, and it reminds her that there is goodness in the world. Inspired, she reaches out to family members she has distanced herself from, choosing to reconnect. The man may never know the impact of his kindness, but it has set in motion a series of positive changes. True strength lies in kindness. The smallest acts of compassion, given freely and sincerely, can create ripples of change far beyond what we can imagine. Kindness transforms us and the world around us, one act at a time. Embrace change. The only constant in life is change. Change is life's most reliable companion. It is a force that shapes us, moves us, and transforms us. While it can feel unsettling, even frightening, resisting change only leads to discomfort and stagnation. When we embrace change, however, we open ourselves to growth, discovery, and new possibilities. Life's greatest lessons often emerge when we step outside our comfort zones and accept the unknown. Consider a teacher who has been in the same role for years, feeling both comfortable and stagnant. When a new opportunity arises, she feels uncertain, even fearful of leaving her familiar role. But she takes the leap, and what she finds is not just new challenges, but a renewed passion for teaching. The change brings her fresh insights, new ways to connect with her students, and the realization that growth often comes from stepping into the unfamiliar. Accept that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Let it guide you toward growth, new experiences, and a deeper understanding of yourself. Change is not an end. It's a beginning, a doorway to a life filled with more possibilities than we can imagine.